Hello and welcome back to the Block Update podcast. This is episode 86. As usual, I am joined by Slack Lizard, affectionately known by his mother as Jonathan, and I am Foxy No Tail, affectionately known by my mother as you don't need that, you want that.
So I want it. Can I have it?
Yeah. For many years of my life, Slack, I'm talking adult years, not just childhood years, my parents were convinced that I just was totally just blowing money left, right and centre, couldn't save, couldn't do anything. I've always been like really sensible with like, because they see, oh, you've got a new computer again, or you've got this and you've got that. Yeah, I have. But you got to get your head into the same mind space as mine, mum and dad, right? You go on holiday a couple of times a year. You buy all these nice fancy clothes. You go to fancy restaurants. You do this. You do that. You do spend money on the house. You spend money on the garden. You spend money on your kids. I'm not doing any of that at this point in life because I didn't have kids at that point. I'm just spending some of the money that I've worked for to buy the things that I want. I'm not interested in clothes. I'm not really going out anywhere. I'm not going on holiday twice a year. I'm spending a lot less money than you are. But they didn't go in. Didn't go in for years. I think they've only just...
Well, we need you to come over here and fix the internet for us.
Over the last few years, when they've actually seen what small amount I'm actually able to live on, realised, oh, you don't just throw your money down the drain.
No, not at all.
No, I don't.
That's not what happens to it, no.
I'm actually pretty good. I only spend it when I'm either really, really sad and I need to pick me up, or when I think I can afford something, when I've saved up. Jeez.
Are you an Amazon shopper when you're sad too?
Oh, I have to have something. If I'm having a really low time, I need a new gadget. I have to have a new gadget.
Yeah, Jen, if I got that look on my face and I'm in a down mood, she's like, "Are you on Amazon?" Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Speaking of spending too much money, Slack, I would like to thank our 53 patrons enabling us to spend a little bit of money here and there, as well as our top tier Minecraft 2.0 patrons, the same ones as usual, Slack, James Carter, Stitch Fix, and the Praetor. If you enjoy this show and you want to help us out, if you want to put a little bit of spending money in our back pocket so that when we're feeling low, we can just go on Amazon and buy a load of rubbish we don't need, then you can help us out by going to patreon.com/the block update. The prices are per podcast for as little as $1 a podcast, and the minimum perks you'll get are access to our patron-only feed for bonus shows, which we do every week. On my, this bonus show was a good one. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff. Slack's gone into details about, I'm not going to say what he broke, but he's broken something on his body, and I'm not, you have to listen, find out what that is. He's also put things in a place in order to remove them from somewhere else. And I've talked about pressure.
Let's see.
How
pressure and the best way to get sleep.
Yeah, the best way to get, or not get sleep in my case. I've talked about my final struggle with Minecraft. What is it? I'm not telling you. You have to find out. And I talked about something that's impossible to get that I've wanted all of my life, and all of the people listening in the live show thought they had the solution and they didn't. And if you want to find out what that is, you're gonna have to pony up for a whole $1 for the week to listen to it. Jeez. You also get access to our Patreon-only Discord channels and a Discord role as well. What more could you want?
Look, I'm telling you.
What can we offer you?
This lint roller was not a bad investment when I was sad.
Slack was able to buy a lint roller because of you guys. We do that bonus show so he can buy lint rollers.
Yep.
Right.
And beard beads that I don't have in right now.
And beard beads. The essentials.
Yeah. And Skittle Littles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And aluminum solo cups that are recyclable. See, look, it says right there, recyclable.
Yeah, you can almost read that.
Really
yeah. Right. It's like we've got any feedback this week.
Well, I imagine we do. People always have an opinion, whether it's right or wrong. They have an opinion. So let's see here. If I go into the feedback here, we got Purple Hoser, who is up first and says, "Hey, Foxy, I know this isn't the Foxy No-Tail Discord, but I wanted to congratulate you on 1,000 days in modded Minecraft movie. It was so great to watch, and I am so glad to see it got about 2,500 views in a day or so. Keep up the amazing work. Purple."
Purple. Thank you, Purple. Yeah, so after my first 10 videos, I'm getting a lot of, "You're copying Mr. Beardstone" comments.
Yeah.
And quite rightly so, because Mr. Beardstone told me exactly what to do. In fact, it was Mr. Beardstone that pushed me down this. I wasn't planning on doing a Create series. I was fiddling with mods in the thought that I'd play a few just on the side, but Mr. Beardstone's incredible success and continued pestering at me to do something similar that made me go down this path. And then he was like, right, and then once you've done so many videos, then you need to do 1,000 days video, and this is how you structure that, and that's how you structure that. So yeah, in a lot of ways, I'm copying Mr. Beardstone. I'm not copying what he's doing in his world, how he's building things, how he's actually like planning it, where he is, but we've got a lot of the same mods. And because Create Mod has certain things that you do, there's a lot of themes that are very similar. And it's one of those situations. Last week after the podcast, I talked about I was going to do this hot springs lava farm. And he messaged me the next day, said, "You'll never guess." He said, "I listened to the podcast. You'll never guess what I'm doing next episode." And I said, "What, you're doing a lava farm?" He's like, "Yep." So obviously all the comments, because my video is always a couple of days or a day after his, and get the comments coming, "You old Mr. Beardstone's just a lava star. You can't." So yeah, thank
you.
If
you copied it, you're not going to get it out in that amount of time. People. Good talk.
Lorenzo, Mr. Beardstone doesn't have a DeLorean. He does not. So yeah, there's a lot going on with that, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but I will be hopefully meeting up with Mr. Beardstone at some point in order to address this in video. So yeah, thank you very much. Everything's going rather well, and my little video, but yeah, it's like 4.25 hours long, that video, and it's got 30,000 views, and the line hasn't, like most videos, they go up and they taper off, right? They go up and then they taper off. Yeah. This one's just still going up slowly, but it's going up.
People Amazing. Love those long plays here recently.
Thank you, Mr. Beardstone. Right, Mike is next, saying, "Mayo is greater than ketchup." I think we'll have to agree to disagree on that one, Mike. He says, "I also tend to prefer fall damage killers in my farms much of the time. Aside from trident killers being on the cheaty side, I much prefer not having gear drops junk to sort through. I'm not supplying a server, so I don't need top rates. I like that you two are more about good enough farms than top production farms. I find you can be more creative in design when you aren't trying to fully optimize. Embrace the weird. Build something that's more interesting than it is productive." Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's plenty of YouTubers out there that are already doing maximum efficiency, maximum output, maximum this, that, and the other. Why do the same thing? Why not just then go, do you know what? Let's make this fun instead. Let's make this look cool. Prime example, my power station in today's video that came out. I had the space to make the power output of that twice as much as it was, but I chose to make it the way it was because I thought it looked nicer. So there we go.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God. It's Jade again. Oh, my goodness. It appears Slack, Foxy, and I will never agree that barbecue sauce belongs on hot dogs. Yeah, we'll never agree. I promise you that right now. But can we at least agree that gas barbecue grills are superior to get out. Leave. Just leave. Leave.
Just finish the feedback, Slack.
Can we agree that gas barbecue grills are superior to charcoal due to ease of use, quick lighting, fast heating, and more accurate temperature control? To get out.
Do you know what? No. Right? Hear me out on this. Charcoal barbecues taste better, but, and this will be different for you because you live in America where it's warm and you probably have a lot more barbecues. In Britain, we're lucky if we get a barbecue day a year. And when you do, you go to the supermarket, it's already all gone because everyone else is having a barbecue day as well.
Yeah.
You invite everybody around for a certain time. And then you think, right, okay, I'm going to light the barbecue. It takes 4 hours to light, gets mildly warm. All of the food takes forever to cook. And then all of a sudden, it's like a switch goes off and everything's all of a sudden incinerated. So it goes from undercooked to just burnt. So
Yeah.
if you really like burnt sausages, burnt burgers, and burnt kebabs and that sort of thing, then yeah, charcoal barbecues are the way to go. They do taste nicer and they're more fun, apart from when the smoke is always blowing in your face. It doesn't matter what direction you put it, the smoke will always blow in your face. Whereas
I can tell you as an American who went over there, your all's charcoal is not the same as ours.
It's charcoal. How can it be any different?
No, it's different. Your all's is garbage. Every brand that we tried over there, because I'm a big fan of charcoal, it's garbage.
It's all wet.
Just pure. It just doesn't burn for nothing. It's nothing like American charcoal.
It takes
your all's
forever.
is garbage. And the fact that you all got the disposable barbecues that totally disappear on a sunny day. Oh, it's a sunny day? Yeah, I was over there. I experienced that. Sun come out. Everybody and their brother is barbecuing in the neighborhood, and you cannot find nothing in the store. There's no meat left.
No.
It is just cleaned out.
The beer's gone, the meat's gone, the sauce is gone, the cheese is gone. You're like, all the bread's gone.
Yeah, get out of here with
everyone
that.
Having a barbecue today.
Jay just said in chat, ours has lighter fluid in it. Get out of here using lighter fluid. Just leave. Just hand in your card.
Yeah, it's yeah. So my dad's got a gas powered barbecue, and I tell you what, the barbecues we have at his house are a lot nicer. So they cheat because they do half the food in the oven in the house, but then they do like the rest of the stuff on the barbecue. It's much bigger, it's much faster, it's much nicer cooked. But the difference is you're really then enjoying the meal that you're having outside in the sun, rather than picking off the charred bits and hoping that you don't get one of the last sausages because there's nothing left of it. So, yeah, I got to admit on that front, the experience after cooking is better with a gas barbecue.
It's more convenient, I'll say that. That's right, the only thing you'll get from me.
The Praetor says, to reply to your notion of my idea uses more copper, Mr. No-Tail, I actually suggested copper doors and trapdoors, though I 100% agree copper hoppers or things of that sort should be added. Also, I'm not stealing your news. I'm just putting it out there, the info that I've seen myself. I don't have a podcast to talk about things like this. Apologies for the book. Great work with the podcast. Praetor, that's absolutely fine. So basically what happened was, Praetor in the podcast discussion channel on the Discord wrote down one of the big pieces of news that week, last week I think it was, and I put underneath it jokingly with one of them like little emotes, "Stop stealing me news." You can put whatever news if you like in there. In fact, we've actually got a channel specifically content ideas, which is for if you've got ideas of things you want us to discuss, you've got news pieces you want us to cover, things that don't fit into feedback, wish list, bug date, and questions. You got ideas for discussion topics or news pieces, like you see something interesting on Twitter, we might not have picked it up, throw it in there. I don't mind you sharing the news on the Discord, because not everybody's listening's going to see the Discord, and they might want to hear our opinion on it as well as the headline. So, yeah, no, go for it. Fill it up.
Yep. Diver is up next and says, I was going to moan some about Java and Bedrock, but then I just decided to take Slack's advice and just give up. On the subject of Slack's raid farm idea, you could call it the Home Alone raid farm. Potentially.
Okay. Tushka
just give up.
Says, just finished episode 84 and I was thinking about the mob vote, Alex's mobs, etc. What might be interesting is to have a bunch more mobs, like Alex's mobs, just added to the world to make it feel more alive. Then, when Minecraft Live has a vote, it would be about drops or features that mobs could provide. For example, this year, ideally, the mobs Armadillo, Crab and Penguin would have already been in the game, but the mob vote would have been about which extra feature or drop they would give to a mob. Still might make some divisiveness, but arguments about that, what extras to add to the game instead of how cute a particular mob is. I think whatever, if you give anyone a voice like that, you're going to have arguments, and I think that's the root of the problem. But I think that would be, I much prefer that. Yeah, Minecraft just go, right, here's all of the different mobs in the game. The world feels alive. Great. Okay, they don't do anything, but what if we make this one do that? What do you think? Yeah, great. Yes or no? I don't know. But I still think votes are, I think the problem is the vote. And I know, it's our only voice. It's not. You don't have a voice with the mob vote because they're deciding, they're setting the goals. They're setting the goalposts. If the actual voice you have is the community feedback, when they release these features and you complain about it, or you say you suggest things, and they then take that on board and make changes. That's your voice. The mob vote is nobody's voice. It's just designed to make it feel like you have a voice, but you don't.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh. No, we're full. We're at capacity. You should have got here sooner.
Yeah.
No,
sorry guys. So
no.
for those of you paying attention, not paying attention, so for those of you who would like to understand what Slack's talking about, we are live on the Discord, as we usually are every single week when we record the podcast. And even though the live channel, voice channel, should have a limit of 99, because me and Slack are both sharing our cameras in there, it limits it to 25. And this is the first week we have hit the limit. We have more than 25 people trying to join. Oh, man.
Sorry.
And I've got to have it open twice, Slack. You're in there. I'm in there twice because I've got to have a second account in there just so I can read the chat so it doesn't mess with your camera. So we're taking up 3 spots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is what it is. Battle Chicken. I love that name. I'm just saying Battle Chicken. I love it. Says those new spawners are like a mechanic in dungeons where you have to fight mobs and get a reward.
They are a little bit like that. The difference is, though, I think even in Minecraft dungeons, you keep hitting the spawner until the spawner destroys. Although that is a good way of farming XP. You can go to certain maps. I think there's the redstone something or other, and the spawners everywhere, and you can just sit by those spawners, camp out, and just get more and more and more XP. But you can destroy those. I guess you can in the new ones in the new dungeons, or whatever they're called. The trial chambers, you could destroy them if you wanted to. So yeah, it's another just good way of grinding XP. So very similar to dungeons.
Yep. Hey, Moose, wake up. Moose, I don't know if you can hear him. That's all I hear.
It probably won't come through in the actual audio for the podcast, but yeah, I heard that. Yeah, Nelly does that. She dreams every time she falls asleep. She dreams and she makes funny noises. Jeez. Alternate says, following your discussion about the Minecraft live show, I agree with you that the trial chambers seem a bit too basic for such a large game. I agree as well that giving out the crafter like it's nothing feels like Mojang are going for a Christmas release of 1.21. Pretty, geez, purely speculation, but it seems to be the way they are thinking. Love the podcast, keep it up. Yeah, total speculation. They could be. I doubt they will. I think they're on a good trend of these annual releases seem to be working quite well for them. So I'm not sure they'd book that trend by doing a Christmas release, but it's not impossible. And I think the trial chambers are basic, but I don't see a problem with that because there's still something new. There's something interesting. They're just, in my mind, not a huge, what was it? I called it a huge feature. So yeah. So I actually watched a video the other day. I'd never seen this channel before. I often just like flick through the homepage on YouTube when I'm sat on the TV, sat watching the TV, and there's nothing. I've run out of programs basically. I'm up to date with all my series, and I saw one was I added a new feature to Minecraft in a week, and basically it was exactly what the trial chambers were, but it was based in the desert. So they built this like big desert temple, and then when you go underneath the desert temple, it was a procedurally generated dungeon, and each room had different features and had different things going on in there, and they made new blocks and they made new weapons and all sorts of stuff. And they used the jigsaw blocks in the game in order to make it work, and it was exactly the same as what they're doing for these trial dungeons. And okay, he's done that in a week. We know that Mojang have all of these procedures they have to go through, so they couldn't just do it in a week. But my point is, building a few rooms and putting in the systems to actually make them procedurally generate is not a big job. So yes, there'd have been a lot of design work. Yes, there'd have been a lot of backwards and forwards in meetings. Should we do this? Should we have that? Is that too advanced? Is that too basic? Blah, 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 blah. What block should we use? But the nitty gritty of it, the building of it, the development of that, once they've got all those ideas, really shouldn't have been a massive job.
No. Muffin is up next and says, Slack, I think you should totally try some modded. I'd watch it. I can't play myself yet, but I've been really enjoying watching Foxy's create mod videos. If you're enjoying what you're doing in the game and in the video, that excitement comes through and makes it much more enjoyable to watch. Yep. I'll agree on what you said there, and I'll cover that in my Minecraft week.
Yes. So coming soon in this podcast later on. Right, that's it for the feedback. If you would like to leave us feedback, then you can do by filling in our feedback form on the blockupdate.com website or joining our Discord, where all of the cool people hang out and make it much easier for me. So, yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
Slack, it's time for the news, buddy.
Oh, we got news?
We got news. We got 3 changelogs to go through this week. Starting with the stable release of Minecraft Bedrock Edition 1.20.40, which we knew was coming. It feels like it's a bit quicker to come out, but that's probably because I've just had my head in Create for the last month.
Yeah, probably.
And I'll go through some changes in this. We've obviously covered most of this in the changelogs for when these was in the preview and betas, but there are a few changes that are worth mentioning. The first one is that the default respawn radius of the player has been changed to 10 instead of, I think it was 5 or 6 before. So that means when you die or when you spawn into the world, it will be within 10 blocks of the actual world spawn point. So it just means that you can be randomly placed within 10 blocks of that. I don't know why that's been increased. Maybe it's a parity thing. It doesn't say, but they've changed it. A good one is that boats will no longer deal fall damage from if you're in a boat and you fall from a great height, you won't get fall damage anymore. But then that's an interesting one, because then the following one is that fall damage is now absorbed by the entity that lands on the ground when mounted and passed to the passengers if the mount dies. So obviously, basically that means the boat's not going to die. But if you fall on a horse with a horse, the horse is going to take damage depending on the height of the horse. The fall, if it's a high enough fall, it kills the horse, then it will pass that damage on to you as well. So
interesting.
Yeah. Goat horns can now be heard up to 256 blocks away. So yeah. The boss bar HUD color is now blue instead of purple. I think that's just for the Wither fight rather than the Ender Dragon, but I can't remember.
Okay.
The flowing water and lava mixing mechanics now match Java Edition. I don't know how that was different to Java Edition, but hopefully that means, when you go in caves and you should have one water source, but it's actually spilled out and then there's just water sources everywhere and it's really difficult to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's got rid of that now. And zombie villager curing time has been randomized between 3 and 5 minutes to match Java Edition now, so it'll be different. So if you current a bunch of zombie villagers, they're not all going to change at the same time like they currently do on Bedrock Edition. And the other big change that's important to the technical people is that iron golems will no longer spawn in 2 high block spaces. So yeah, iron farms are a little bit easier to build again now, which is nice. There's a massive, massive amount of changes in this update. I'm scrolling through it now. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to go through it all, but the changelog, if you're interested in that, will be listed in the show notes and description below. So if you want to check that out in your own time, then please feel free, because I'm not going through all that. It's like we'll be here all day. We've got 2 more changelogs to talk about. We've got a whole new Minecraft beta and preview. 1.20.50.22 Slack.
When did this come out?
Today.
Oh, okay.
I think it was today or yesterday, maybe. It might have been yesterday. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. We've got the copper blocks have been added to the game, which includes chiseled copper, copper grate, copper bulb, copper door, copper trapdoor, and oxidized wax variants of all of those. And there's some interesting recipes for those. So copper's abundant. You get a lot of copper when you go mining. It's very easy to get tons and tons of copper. So you would imagine a lot of the recipes are quite expensive, which they can be. But the copper trapdoor, Slack. Right. So the copper grate, I think, or the copper bulb, I think you can make 8 copper bulbs for the same amount of copper as it takes to make 2 copper trapdoors. It takes 6 full copper blocks to make 2 copper trapdoors.
Why?
Right? Crazy. So, like, trapdoors are one of the most useful blocks for building with. I love using trapdoors and things for detail on builds. 2 for 6 blocks is crazy, absolutely crazy. And it's not like I equate I equate copper blocks to logs, but with logs, then you get them down into planks, and then those planks make trapdoors.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So there was one disappointing thing with this. If you remember last week, we got a wish list item saying, wouldn't it be great if if you could pulse lock the door and the trapdoor? But they don't. They don't work like metal ones either, iron ones. They just work like wood ones. So that's fine. You can just open them with your hand or with redstone. But it'd be nice if there was, considering we've got that bulb there that's acting as a T flip flop. It would be really nice if the door and the trapdoor had something a bit unique to it as well. But they don't, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. So I'm not going to go through all of these because we've seen it a million times. There's millions of videos on it. We talked about them after the Minecraft live show in the last video, I believe. But they also have added the Tuff Block family. There are stairs, slabs, walled and chiseled variants of tuff, as well as tuff bricks, which also have stairs, slabs, walls and chiseled variants, and polished tuff with stairs, slabs and wall variants, but no chiseled polished tuff apparently. And they can all be crafted on the stone cutter, which is amazing. And the copper stuff's all crafted on the crafted on the stone cutter as well. So lots more uses for the stone cutter there, and lots more amazing looking blocks, which is very nice. Right, there's a couple of features in here that we need to talk about, and the first one is that for some reason, just totally out of the blue, with no mention of it, they have completely changed the bat. It still doesn't do anything different. Its behavior is the same. It doesn't drop anything, but its new look is interesting, and it's got new animations as well. And it's very difficult. I've looked all over the internet to try and get a decent picture of the bat, and it's so dark now. It's really difficult to actually get a decent view of it. But it's got bigger wings, it's got bigger ears, it's got bigger eyes and a nose. They've just totally changed it, which is, I guess the old bat was kind of a little bit rubbish, but no one cared about the bat. It's just one of those ambient creatures you hardly ever see. They fly around in your face, and then, you just walk past it. You don't bother with it. So this signals to me that they're going through all of the mobs in the game one by one and updating them to meet this new sort of standard they've got since they added this new animation system in, which is fine. But why the bat? I ain't got a problem with it. I think it's nice. I quite like the change, and it makes things fresh and interesting. But why the bat? Thank you very much, Lorenzo, for throwing that into the live chat. If only I could show that for the peeps watching at home, but I can't. But
weird.
Yeah, very, very interesting update. I didn't know if it was just a Halloween thing, because obviously it's nearly Halloween, but I don't think it is.
That could have been maybe what pushed it, but I don't know.
I guess if they're going to be fiddling with mobs, maybe it's one of those, right, well, let's fiddle with one that not really many people are going to fuss about because they don't see it much. If they all of a sudden went, right, this is the chicken looks totally different, or the cow looks totally different, or the pig looks totally different, everyone's going to go mad, right?
Yeah.
But they start on the bat and they drip feed that idea to you, a bit like we said they should have done with this crafter. We're fiddling with things. Expect changes, then you've got that mindset.
We'll do the bat, then we'll do the fish, and
So you go from, I don't like this new cow, why have you done that, to, I wonder what they're going to do with the cow. I wonder how they're going to make the cow look different. I think it's an interesting way of doing things. It's a good way of doing things. So, right. Chorus flowers can now be destroyed by any projectile, which no longer disappear after impact. So that's nice. Decorated pots now have a smashier noise when they've been broken, which is not a word. And the other thing that I added here was, a big change. Big change. The calculations to determine whether a mob can attack a player or other mobs have been changed. Previously, a mob's horizontal width was used to determine their attack reach, and their height had no effect. The area where a mob can attack is now their bounding box extended in horizontal directions. The mobs affected by so basically, every mob now, instead of just having its bounding box having to be in contact with the player but vertically didn't make any difference, it's their actual bounding box plus 0.8 of a block in each direction horizontally. So I think this is do you remember how they did that on Java Edition not too long ago? And it changed how things like Enderman could, before this change, could reach you. Like if you were on a block 2 blocks up, and Enderman couldn't hurt you, and then they made it so the hitbox, if the hitboxes were touching, then it could. So I think this is a similar change to that.
Oh,
so that's interesting. Yeah, very interesting. And hopefully that will make some good changes to the game rather than bad ones. This change doesn't affect the reach of players. A bit of a dig there to all of you crab crab enthusiasts. So and then there's a bunch of technical updates and things like that I'm not going to go into. Again, if you want to look at all this, then you can check out the changelog. The last one is the Minecraft Java Edition snapshot, which, would you believe, Slack has pretty much exactly the same as the Bedrock Edition stuff in there. Except
that makes sense.
This one has something incredible in it that I want now. But before we get to that,
I see a new command.
Yeah, we're not getting yet there yet. Before we get to that, changes. Thrown ender pearls produce a teleportation sound on impact. So when you land with your ender pearl, it goes zoop, like it does when things teleport. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this new command, I watched a video on this today. It's incredible. Oh man, it's so good. It's the tick command, right? So finally, Nembom, obviously working for Mojang now, getting some, because he did the carpet mod. Do you remember he did the carpet mod? It was all about like tick rates and stuff like that, figuring out the game. Well, not all of that implementation has made it into the game, but they are actually adding in useful things. And this, so it seems simple enough. The tick command will, if you do tick query, it'll tell you what tick rate the game is playing at. But what you can do is you can set the rate, how many ticks per second the game uses. If you set this to lower than 20, which is the default, everything goes into slow motion, including the player. Like really, really, really slow. Like, and it's incredible. All the mobs and entities and everything go really, really slow. If you set it to faster than 20, the mobs all suddenly go crazy. It's like using Cheat Engine on Bedrock Edition. You don't, for some reason. The player doesn't speed up at all, but all of the entities in the world just suddenly, and redstone and stuff like that, all goes really, really fast. But that's not the great thing. Do you remember in films where all of a sudden it was really cool to do that thing where everything stopped, but the camera pans around and you can see everything? They did it in X-Men with the really fast running guy. And he was running around and everything was stopped, but he could like interact with it and stuff like that. They've got tick freeze. You do tick freeze, everything stops. All your redstone stops. All the mobs stop. And when the video I was watching, when the player was like moving around, it was just like watching one of those. And I was like, how cool will that be for like just making cinematics and stuff like that? I know you could use replay mod on Java Edition, but
we won't get that on Bedrock.
Oh, I really hope we do. I really hope we do.
No, literally tick rate up there, being able to set at 1 or 1,000. They literally warn, this can make your system unresponsive or crash the game. They're not going to melt somebody's phone.
Yeah, but I want it.
I want it. No.
Okay. No. If the game's frozen, you can do tick step. Tick step will run the game for a specified number of ticks and then freeze it again. So it's not changing the tick rate. Let's say you've made a redstone contraption or you've done something and you want to see what happens over the next few seconds. You do tick step and then a certain amount of time, and the game will run for that certain amount of time and then stop again. And then you can basically see what's happened. This is mainly for debugging, but this is going to be really useful for redstone. It's going to be really useful for cinematic things and stuff like that.
Be useful in farm tutorials? Yeah.
Oh, really useful in farm tutorials. Tick, step, stop. Tick, step, stop. Say that 1,000 times. If you've done a big long step thing and you realize something's gone wrong, you can stop it, which is obviously good. And then tick unfreezes everything and sets it back to whatever rate you've got the tick rate going at. And then the last one, which I think is really good, is tick sprint. So tick sprint will, for a certain amount of time, basically run as fast as the game can possibly run it at. So it affects the tick rate. It will just run the game as fast as it can possibly run at for that amount of time. And then you basically can get a good idea of how fast your game can run, whether it's running at the right speed or too fast, too slow, something like that.
Mob farm test rates, any farm rates in short amount of time.
Yeah.
Oh,
rate testing. Oh man.
Yeah. Rate testing. Yeah.
So for most people, they're probably listening to this going, what? Yeah, for me, for Slack, for technical people, this is like something that I would love in Bedrock Edition.
Please now. Yes.
Yeah. So fantastic. And that's about it for that update. There are a bunch of other things, load of bug fixes as usual, but I'm not going to go through them because I mean, there you go. That's it. End of the news. Done.
Yeah.
Not like last week when we was over an hour by the end of the news. This is it. That's it. News done by 35 minutes. Job's a good one.
Wow.
Bugdate.
Well, thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, yeah, that's right. We got more sections. Yeah.
What you got?
Not proper change logs.
You're kidding me.
No, not at all.
Like, you're telling me Mojang would make changes to the game and not tell us about it?
There's this weird podcast that I've heard of called the Block Update, where we read off the change logs that happen every week. But would you believe in the last 2 updates, I can go back 2 updates ago, and grass would spread from 3 blocks high down to grass, dirt below that.
Right.
But would you believe there's no mention in the change logs of that stopping, and now it only works from 2 blocks?
Oh, speaking of, something we didn't cover in the news last week that wasn't in the Java Edition's changelog is the fact that there is now a command to, and again, I want this in Bedrock Edition, change how fast a player can go through a nether portal, either in creative or default for survival. In creative, you go into a nether portal, straight in, you're in there like that.
Yep.
But the default amount of time apparently is 4 seconds for survival. There's a command.
So you can get that nice nausea effect.
There's a command to change that to whatever you want. You can set it to basically infinite to stop anybody ever being able to go to the nether, or you can set it to 0 or 1 or 2, and you can just go through the nether portal pretty much instantly. And you can set it for creative as well to stop you going through the creative one so quickly. And I think I would do that because quite a lot of times, if I'm working on creative stuff that involves between the nether and the overworld, I will need to go through the portal, but not to the other dimension, like just fly through the portal. And you end up going into the other dimension and then having to come back out again and hope you're facing the right direction. So just add in a second's worth of delay so you can fly through that without actually getting transported to the other dimension would be really useful. And likewise, I would definitely 100% set the survival nether portal delay to 1 second or less so that I could just go straight through in survival, because I don't see the point in the delay. It's just an irritation.
Yep. I agree. Totally agree.
So yeah. No, it's interesting, isn't it, that they can make such big changes to the game and not tell us about it.
Yeah. Annoying. Very much annoying.
Now, the community bugs we've got this week, Slack, are exactly the same one. So do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
Praetors?
Yeah, well, there's the same. Guyver's is just an extension of Praetors with the
having some issues with one player sleep commands. I've set the commands on my realm to pass the night as long as one player sleeps, but for whatever reason, it keeps resetting the commands to go back to needing everyone to sleep to pass the night.
Yes, and Guyver says, same here, here's the bug report, and I had to go back to using Foxy's one-player sleep pack. So yeah, realms, one-player sleep doesn't work. The command keeps getting reset, which is stupid. It has been confirmed. It is unresolved. Hopefully they will fix it pretty soon because, well, it's a bit silly really, isn't it?
I got nothing. No.
And that's it for the bug date. If you are experiencing a bug in Minecraft, I know that's highly unlikely, very, very unlikely to happen because Minecraft is totally bug-free, as we know. But if you happen to just come across one and you think it's interesting and you can find a changelog, then please let us know by emailing us, filling in the feedback form on the website, or joining the Discord. The links for all of those things are available in the description below and the show notes. This week's tip of the week, Slack, is from Gabberty, who says, for an added challenge, If you're not a fan of swimming with drowned, you can bow fish. Arrows still penetrate the water and kill fish swimming by, then just collect the drops floating on the surface. It kind of works.
It's fair.
It is a tip. I find the arrows don't, once they hit the water, they tend to not really go very far and they go a bit slow. But for like surface fish and things like that, you can actually do that. So, but if you're aiming at a drown that's on the bottom of the ocean, it doesn't really work if it's well.
Yeah, you got to really count for the drop. Yeah, because it drops off quick.
Yeah. Okay, what's your live tip of the week, Slack?
Life's a garden. Dig it.
Dig it? How do you dig it? How do you dig it?
You just dig it. You just dig life. Yeah.
Yeah, but how? I need the instructions.
With your hand, with your shovel, with your shoe, with your toes.
How can you give me the steps to reproduce this issue?
Just dig it.
Just dig it. Number one, just dig it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah,
and what are the expected results?
Life.
Okay. And what happens if I don't dig it? What are the expected results? Life. Okay. So I don't actually need to dig it, but the advice is to dig it. Interesting.
Okay, better life tip advice. You want to be a real pro, do the 1 chip challenge, and for 10 minutes don't drink milk or have ice cream. There you go.
What's the 1 chip challenge?
The 1 chip challenge? Foxy, want to do the 1 chip challenge? I'll do the 1 chip challenge.
What is it? I don't know what it is.
It's one potato chip crisp that's flavored with like Carolina Reapers and everything, and you're supposed to eat it and not have nothing to drink or milk or ice cream for 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes? Sounds like bonus show material for me. It's like, find out where I can get some of this spicy stuff from, and I'll do it.
Look, y'all better sign up for Patreon. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We get all right, here's the thing. We get 100 Patreons, I'll do it. Yeah.
100 patrons. So we get double the amount of patrons we've got. Slack will do the 1 chip challenge. Right, there you go. You all got
you'll do it with me too. Week. Yep.
I will.
Yep, you'll do
I'd have done it for 55.
Well, no, we're going for 100. Yeah.
Okay, right.
They're really discussing this in the live chat.
Would a top tier count add as 5 patrons? That's up to Slack.
That's up to Foxy.
You're the one that wants to wait for 100. I'm the one saying I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, geez. Right, okay. Let's get into the wish list before we get carried away with this.
Yeah, let's go to the wish list. Oh, dear God. CJ is up first and says, now that we're finally getting a tinkering update, my wish is that movable tile entities finally get added to Java.
Yeah, why not? Which way do you think this is going to go? That's a parity feature that's a massive one. They can't even move the crafter block, but we can.
How they're ever going to address that one over there?
Yeah, I got a feeling they'll take it away from Bedrock rather than give it to Java. Because that's quite a big change to make. There are mods that do it. But I don't know whether, because that, you make a change like that to Java Edition, there's so many things that they will need to consider in how all of those items relate to other things to make sure it's 100% perfect and doesn't cause problems for anything else. And we know from the mods it's possible, but mods don't have to worry about compatibility with all of the other things, like the developers do. So I think that's a big change to expect them to do. But it really should go around that way. The other thing is, will the Java Edition developers, bearing in mind these are the decision makers, the ones that have an expected way that Minecraft should be played, will they believe it's the right way the game should be played? Or will they think, no, these things are not supposed to be movable? Can you imagine Java Edition people being like, what do you mean furnaces can move now? Furnaces are removable. How many farms will that break on Java Edition?
Break quite a few. Break quite a few. Interesting one.
Yeah. Okay. Cold Reindeer says, not sure if this counts, but I'd love to see you, Foxy, and or Slack make a video where you pretend to be advertising Minecraft Legends for entertainment value rather than plain old advertising and sharing what you do and don't like about the game, I won't make a video like that. I think it would be funny, but I'd never make a video like that. If you make a video like that and you get a few people that watch, like your inner circle, if you like, your closest viewers will watch it and they'll enjoy it, but it will have such a massive negative effect on YouTube because YouTube will go, oh, they've put out a video and no one wanted to watch it, so the next one we better be careful. Better be careful how many we recommend it to. And my, proof of this is we've always said that. We never really had personal proof. And this, where I'm going at the minute, is proof. You put out a video that does well, and you can see it in the numbers. The next video you put out will get recommended to more people faster. And the next video you put out, if it does better, they will recommend it to more people faster. If you put out a video that doesn't do well, YouTube goes, they don't reset it, but they bring it back down and be like, oh, they've changed the content, so we better not recommend this to as many people. And then you're starting again. And it's a funny idea, but it's never going to happen.
Yeah. Stone Ostrich here says the ability to stand on boats again.
Has that been removed?
Yeah. I don't know.
I thought they fixed that.
I didn't know that it was removed. I thought they fixed it too.
I know I've had issues in Java Edition trying to get out of a boat where you'll just be stuck to the side and you'll just be glitching backwards and forwards really fast. And you just sort of get stuck there until you either relog or sort of manage to glitch your way back into the boat or jump off. But I thought on Bedrock you could. I thought you could jump across boats.
Here you go. Here's in our live chat related to this. X-Zone over there just said they need to remove TNT dupers if they add movable tile entities to Java. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
No, well, to be fair,
that ain't gonna happen.
Mojang do remove TNT dupers most updates. Like when they do a major update, they remove the fix, but then they just find another way of doing it. So they have tried. That was like the AFK fish farms. Every update, they would try and take away AFK fish farms to the point where they went, okay, right, you keep figuring out new ways of doing it. What we're going to do is just going to nerf fishing loot unless you're in a big area.
But then they thought of ways to do that now. So
exactly, exactly. Right, who's next? Guyver says, after spending a significant amount of time traveling by boat in recent days, I'd like to wish for larger boats. They would be slightly larger, maybe with 2 double chests, and this could be balanced by only allowing it to be placed or moved in water. An alternate version could support more ridered entities with no storage. I know I can fill the existing chest boat with shulkers, but I can't easily rummage around them without having some land to attach them to. Yeah, boats... I would love, and I was really hoping, with the mob vote videos all being based on that pirate ship that was moving, I was really hoping they were gonna say we're having like either like bigger boats. But I don't want bigger boats. What I'd really like is a movable entity that I can add blocks to. I would like to have a platform, whether it's got wheels or a minecart track or a boat, and I would like to be able to place blocks on it and have the whole thing move as one.
You know what I really want is that thing I see you all doing in Create, where you take a mining machine down, you go mining, then you pick it up and take it back up top, and you just carry it around thousands upon thousands upon thousands of blocks with you.
That's really cheaty. Yeah, it's very good, but to me, so there's in Create they've got contraptions and then there's trains. So a contraption is basically minecart based. You can put down a minecart and put this little deploying station over it, and you can basically glue anything you want to that, and whatever you put on there will go wherever the minecart goes. If you put that minecart on powered rail and it's got machines attached to it, doesn't matter how big those machines are, you could literally mine out an entire mountain, it will just drill through it and it will never stop and it will collect all the items. And the stupidest thing is, you can then just pick that up and put it in your pocket with all of the items in it, go put it down somewhere else and empty it out. And I think that's really cheaty. But it's also really convenient because, like I said with Create, it's not unbalanced, but it's rebalanced the game. The resource gathering of normal Minecraft, all of a sudden you can go from having, in vanilla Minecraft, to take you hours and hours and hours to dig out that many chests worth of stone and turf and everything else. whereas in Create, you can get it in seconds. It's those resources are almost sort of not really that valuable to you because there's other things and there's other ways where the grind is, like just planning out factories and designing factories and building all of the resources you need for that and automating it. So that's where the fun is, and that's how they balanced it. But I do think that's too cheaty. I think if it's got items in and you break it, those items should drop out. Because realistically, for me, what I'd like to be able to do with those contraptions is have them go down the minecart track and then have to bring them back up to the other end and have them deposit into. Because what I really wanted to do in my mind was have like a system of conveyors at the end where it starts that unload all of the items and go put them into my storage. Because I thought that would be fun to build. But the fact that
can you not do that?
Well, I could, but then I'm still just picking it up at the other end, putting it back down at the other end, and then just like getting it to unload the items. And it just sort of seems a bit pointless when you can just pick it up and park it outside your storage area.
Yeah.
So
and shift double click, right?
Yeah. But trains, so that's contraptions. Trains are different. Trains go on tracks and they have actual storage. You can put storage interfaces on them. You can put storage interfaces on the minecart contraptions, but on the trains, you can't just pick up and put wherever you want. You can move it to another piece of track nearby, but there has to be track close enough for you to be able to move it to it. So then you're sort of forced to go and build a station somewhere where it can offload to. And I think that's a much better mechanic. So yeah, for me, that is a bit cheaty. I don't know how we got onto that. How did we get onto that?
I don't know. Right. Moving on from that. Stitch Fix. Foxy. How's your day?
It's all right.
I wish for the create blocks that allows you to create all the extra stone variants.
Yeah, so in this one, I've actually got a mod called Chipped, the Chipped mod, and that basically gives you a bunch of different workbenches and enables you to craft ridiculous amounts of variations of all the blocks, and it's wonderful. So that's not actually to do with Create, that's just a chip mod, and I would very much like that in Minecraft as well, but I don't think we're going to get that in the good ideas bin, are we, Slack?
No,
didn't think so.
No.
Bouncy Ball says, hey guys, I have a few good ideas. First, being able to make mossy cobblestone out of moss and cobblestone. Good idea, granted. It's already a thing. Good job.
Yeah, already there.
Second, spawners that can see you from up to 28 blocks away. Why? What's wrong with 16? Why does it need to be 28? Why this random arbitrary number? Give me a reason.
Yeah. And if you really want that, you can find an editor, go into the editor, edit the spawner, and change it yourself.
Yeah. Third, an enchantment that makes arrows fly faster. You're effectively, that's power, isn't it? They don't need to go faster. Power makes them hit harder. Why do you need arrows to go faster?
Faster time on target.
They go fast enough anyway, don't they? They're pretty fast arrows.
They want them to go faster.
And then they've put at the bottom, and dodge rolling. Well, dodge rolling's already in the good ideas bin, so... Yeah. So, sorry.
No.
We've only had one good idea so far. Sorry, guys. It's bad ideas day to day.
Yep. Told you. I told you my favorite part's saying no to people. Ecifer is up next and says, a new mountain biome volcano.
Yeah.
In the biome, lava flows at the speed of water and can produce an infinite lava source. No.
Second two things, no, but I would like a new volcano biome. Why not?
Biome, yes. Other two things, no.
Good idea, biome. Bad idea, other stuff. There you go. Cold Reindeer is up next, and they say, hey, Foxy, you may have noticed that in Java Edition, the inventory management isn't great. On Bedrock, the inventory has things separated into menu folders, e.g. ores or stone block variants. However, on Java, it doesn't, which means you have to cycle through hundreds of items listed slowly or use the search bar to find anything. It's not very efficient, and I wish they had a similar system for organization. Cold Reindeer, I don't know which version of Minecraft Java Edition you've been playing, but Minecraft Java Edition has even more tabs than Bedrock Edition does to split the items up into the different sections. That said, Bedrock Edition inventory system, the recipe book's way better. And also, what I don't like about Java Edition, when you're in creative mode, you've got your inventory screen, but then if you want to get any items to put in it, you have to then go into either the search or these other tabs and your inventory disappears. You can only see your hotbar. So when you want to get items out, so let's say I'm in the I've typed in stone and I want a few different stone variants. If my hotbar's full, I have to highlight one, go to then show my inventory and put that item in there, then go back to the search, and my search is gone. So I gotta type in stone again. And so that's really rubbish. So in creative mode, the recipe book system is rubbish compared to Bedrock Edition, but the actual tabs are better. You don't have to scroll through hundreds of items. You have to scroll through a lot less.
Yeah. I wouldn't call that a good idea, a bad idea.
It was more of a statement, really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
probably should have got in questions.
Potentially. Jen is up next and says, a connection tool. Sometimes glass panes, fences, walls, iron bars instantly snap and connect to some things, but not others. I would like the ability to choose what they do or don't connect with, maybe with a tool or by putting slime on them, much like waxing copper mechanics.
I think Minecraft is in desperate need of a wrench. Vanilla Minecraft needs a wrench because, again, going to create, you've got a wrench in there and you do everything with it. You can pick blocks up with it, spin them around, alter things, change how they look. And I don't want all that in vanilla, but what I would like is I'd like to click on a block like an observer or a repeater or something and spin it round, because you can't, when you're dealing with compact systems, it's very difficult sometimes to get things placed exactly how you want them to be placed. Why not have a wrench that you can rotate things? Why not have a wrench that you can click on a fence and it will either connect or disconnect from the thing it's connected to? Why not? It's not going to affect
gameplay. My first thought was this feels too modded, but at the same time, I sometimes want things side by side that don't connect. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't think that is too modded. Yeah. A wrench, it's just another tool and it just enables you. Like you could say in that case, well, a pickaxe is too modded because it allows you to break blocks. Well, it's the same thing. Yeah. It's not giving you anything. It's just enabling. It's a quality of life feature. Not So Blue Sheep says, I wish vines had a maximum growth. I wish that when you placed a vine, it would continue to grow 4 or 5 blocks and then stop. You could get it to grow more by adding bone meal, or you could reduce the amount each vine leaves on your builds by shearing it back once it's reached its maximum growth stage. Kelp does that. Why not? I know on Java they can shear vines and things to stop them growing.
I just say give us the shearing ability.
But I like the idea that if you got that, the problem with that is you don't know which ones you've already sheared, so you might miss some and then just end up with loads of stuff overgrown. Vines ticking and growing are laggy. The whole reason they added kelp maximum growth was to prevent that. So yeah, why not have maximum growth? Why not?
Well, you could set a maximum growth to 25, but also give us the shearing mechanic. Yeah. When I was playing Java, when you sheared vines, they went from being flat to having a little curve.
Oh,
same with the berry bushes that grew down. When you sheared the bottom of them, they curved inward instead of being like they were.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, give us that mechanic.
I definitely think we should have.
I hate having to use string.
But I think them having a maximum growth as well is a good idea, because realistically, how often do you need vines to go 100 blocks down? Remember Truly Bedrock Season 3? Like a couple of months in, spawn was just absolutely littered with vines. Do you remember?
Remember my witch hut that had the trees of the vines, and as soon as you flew over there, you hit a wall of lag because of the pending tick update?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, maximum growth on vines, I think, is a good idea. And I think the other thing just goes without saying, the shearing mechanic. Okay. Is it me or you? It's you, isn't it?
Is it me?
Yeah.
But man, we've had this one before. Use a water bottle on a copper block to oxidize it faster, similar to using bone meal on making a plant grow faster. As a bonus, water bottles could oxidize iron blocks to produce rusty iron blocks and doors and trapdoors. Iron blocks would rust normally. Iron blocks wouldn't rust normally. This would just be something you could do for aesthetics. Now, we've covered this copper one before, and it never made it into a good idea with that. But I do like the idea of being able to rust iron.
Here's a better idea that is more in keeping with vanilla Minecraft. The whole dripstone thing. There's so many things you can do with dripstone now on blocks in order to dry things out.
That's a good idea.
So why not put dripstone with some copper underneath it and some water on top to age it faster? And the same thing for iron.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I'm sold. It's already something in the game.
With dripstone. Instead. Okay.
Yep, I'm sold.
There we go. Good.
Yeah, and then you do away with that whole 4-block radius. If it's dripping water onto it with like a mechanic in the game, I'm sold. I love it.
There you go. Job's a good one. Ecifer also says, going off Foxy's comments regarding difficulty traversing the end dimension, what if a new portal block was added that would appear in place of the end crystals when the dragon was defeated? This Ensidian, as opposed to Obsidian, would allow you to create a nether-like portal to and from the end in the overworld. When you link this new portal in one dimension, it builds a portal in the other, just like the classic nether portal, because the classic end portal continues to exist. Ensidian is renewable, albeit not easy. A ratio of 1 to 8 blocks, just like the nether, would allow end hubs to potentially replace nether hubs. A ratio of 1 to 16 would make end hubs even better than nether hubs, which could be a bonus because of the dangerous doing things over the void. Do you know what? I think that's a good idea. Being able to have...
Yeah, I'm actually not opposed to it.
Yeah, portals linking up. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too fussed about the new block being called Ensidian, but if that's what it's called, that's what it's called. But yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Scott Young is up next and says, hello, Foxy and Slack. My wish list idea is to have a way to lock villager profession blocks so that villagers cannot connect to them. This would allow you to use these blocks in your builds without worrying about them messing with your villagers. This could be done by adding a toggle to the profession block interface to lock the ability or unlock the ability for... Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I was just thinking that, just having fake blocks instead, but no, little toggle in the UI. Why not? Yeah. Yeah.
Literally working, not working, working, not working.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good idea. And wow, we are getting through these fast. Jeez. I hope you got a lot of questions, peeps, because we're only an hour in and this is the last wish list item. So if you want this podcast to last more than an hour and 20 minutes, get your questions in now. Jade, with our last question. A snorkel on a turtle helmet. This would allow you to swim and still breathe, but you'd make it with bamboo. The thing about snorkels, Jade, is they only work at the surface of the water. If you go down more than the length of the snorkel, they don't work anymore. So I would like it in Minecraft if you could swim at the surface, but you don't. You either sink or you pop up. There's a really annoying bit. When you're trying to go around and gather all those blocks that you've mined and they've all floated up, and you're sort of coming up and you're doing this and it's really annoying. It'd be great if it would lock you to the surface until you pressed, I don't know, a button to go above the surface, in which case the snorkel would work. But unfortunately, Jade, that's not how Minecraft works. So a snorkel's going to be kind of pointless because you're never going to be able to just get it just right to swim at that layer of the surface. So
aesthetically, I could get why you want it, but logically, in the game sense, you got a turtle helmet. It gives you 10 seconds of breath anyway. So
yeah, get some turtle flippers as well. Get the whole scuba gear going on. Swim really fast.
Yeah, get you a shell on your back. Yeah, for extra storage.
Yeah, for extra storage. No, it's to prevent sunburn. Slack. Everyone knows you get more sunburn when you're in the water.
I knew that.
Turtle shell prevents the sunburn. You got little snorkels and flippers on. Those turtles are suddenly really useful.
No, you didn't get something we didn't approve. No.
Jen in the chat. I got something. No, Jen. No,
Jay, that was Jay. I got something. Yeah, no,
you're reading
you
it
didn't.
wrong, mate.
We said no.
Yeah. Right.
That's what happens when you eat barbecue sauce on hot dogs. You can't read and listen to the chat, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, peeps, it's time. I can't believe how fast this podcast has gone today. Why? We've had plenty of stuff. Are we just... I don't understand.
Well, we had a long bonus show, too.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, right. Questions, then. Start us off, Slack.
We skipped something.
Have we skipped something? We can't skip something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we haven't... Our week in Minecraft. Oh, there we go. That explains it. We skipped the whole section. There we go. Right. Well done for pointing that out, Slack. I was all ready for going home. Right, okay. Jeez. What have you been up to in Minecraft this week, Slack?
Well, I kind of got to type something here yet. I don't know about that. I can't. No,
sadly not. No. Well, technically, well, kind of. Yeah. Okay.
It kind of. Yeah. I think it's something worth going into.
Truly Bedrock has announced that the next stream weekend, which is happening, I think is it this weekend coming? Halloween weekend. It's going to be the last stream weekend of season 5. Are we on?
I think it's 5.
And season 5 is going to be ending at the same time. And as well as that, Truly Bedrock seasons are going to be going on a little bit of a break until, an undetermined time in the future at this point in time. And in the meantime, a bunch of the TB members are going to be doing another Truly Bedrock series, which is TB Winter, which is effectively exactly the same thing. It's still Truly Bedrock, still Bedrock Edition, still vanilla, and they're going to be focusing on the winter
just not
series.
called season 6 is all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much information we're allowed to give out about this, but it's been announced. So all I will say is that one of the reasons for this is that a lot of us have found ourselves drifting away doing personal content and solo content and building our channels, but we don't want to leave Truly Bedrock. We feel that going back to Truly Bedrock in a few months' time, once we've got these other things out of our systems, we can come up with a plan that's going to be bigger, better, stronger, and will bring TB back to life a little bit, because I think we can all agree, we've talked about it plenty in the podcast over the last few weeks, SMP, vanilla SMP stuff, it's not performing ever so well. And Truly Bedrock's really suffered from that for a lot of the players. And that means that a lot of the players have having to find good ways of making content elsewhere, which is sad because we don't want Truly Bedrock to go anywhere. We love Truly Bedrock. We want it to last as long as possible. And the other big thing coming up is January. And I don't know whether you guys know, but as a content creator, January is a bad month. January, things tend to die pretty quickly in January. And if you've got a series that's already going on quite a long time and there's already quite a few members that have sort of trailed off, there's no point in starting a new series when you've got January around the corner and Christmas around the corner. You're better off delaying it a little bit, getting those things out of the way, and then, really thinking about how you're going to change things up and improve things to come back stronger. So, yes. So as a result...
Yeah, we've done that before. We've done that before. We did a season that started in January, didn't we? And it didn't go well.
Yeah. And the other issue with this is, as we've mentioned loads of times, and it's nothing to do with Truly Bedrock, but vanilla's it's got a bit stale. There wasn't enough in the last few updates to keep that hype going, to keep making content that's interesting using those new features. We need a big update that's going to give us enough features to make content on for another year, So,
or else we're just rinsing and repeating the same farms and the same thing every season, and it just
so
it eventually starts to break you.
The good thing is we already know the next update's got a whole bunch of content that's out there. We've got these trial chambers, which is going to be so much to do in that, not just exploring and adventuring, but also building farms around. We've got the crafter, which means, like we already said, everybody's already got all of the crafter farms out there, but we'll actually be able to build those in survival and have really cool farms factories Slack in Minecraft.
Factories.
That's a whole new style of building, a whole new way of planning things, a whole new way of organizing and laying out your farms and things. It's going to be so exciting. And that's the sort of content that can last a long time. Whereas archaeology and sniffers and bookshelves. I've put a book in the
you didn't like
bookshelf.
the trail runes?
No. Not one bit. Not one bit, Slack. Not one
Never guessed.
bit. So yeah, I guess this was as good a time as any to kind of announce that. I'm not going to be taking part in the TB winter thing personally, because I'm really, really going to town with this create stuff. It's working for me. I don't want to rock the boat. If I wasn't doing that, of course, I would be part of it. But while this is running well and it's going my way, that's what I'm focusing on. Slack, what are you taking part in it?
No, I've lost my love for Let's Play content for a while now. We've talked about it in the podcast. I've had no fun with it. And part of it, I think, was due to the pressure of recording. In the last, I think it was finally about a week ago, I finally decided, I'd been hemming and hollering over it forever. I'm taking a break from Let's Play content. That's not saying I'm still not playing Minecraft, because I'm still playing Minecraft. I'm streaming Minecraft. I'm streaming pretty much every day on Twitch right now. But I'm focusing my YouTube channel on what actually grows my YouTube channel. And if I look at all the analytics on my channel, it's tutorials, tips and tricks, and stuff like that. So while we got this downtime in TB, I'm taking this time to refocus, regrow my channel, continue to grow my channel, draw in new people. And I tell you, the best thing ever is starting to happen from this. I'm enjoying playing Minecraft again because I don't have that pressure of recording. I'm able to go live and just play. If I want to spend 10 minutes working on a sorter and then all of a sudden I want to go into the nether and mess with a barter farm, or then I want to come back and go build some trees randomly, I can. And there's not the pressure of I can't do this because I need to record XYZ before I can do this. So I'm completely freed up and I'm enjoying my streams. And I'm having fun in Minecraft again. So no, I'm not taking part in TB Winter. I'm not taking part in no Let's Plays at all right now for the foreseeable future.
That's it.
It's
that's the issue. And what you have to remember, peeps, as much as the majority of you listening probably really enjoy our TB content, because the majority of you listening are probably part of our closer communities. And whilst you all still really enjoy it, and we want to make those videos for you, this is our job. And I've been doing this. In March next year, that'll be my 10 years on YouTube. And over those 10 years, I've grown slowly. Then we've had spikes and it's gone down a bit. Then we've had more spikes. Then we had the big old COVID spikes and it's gone down a bit. And over this last year, for me, it's got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Where and a part of that is due to not putting as much effort into each video, not putting effort into the editing. I'm just as guilty. Yep. But the reason for that was the lack of enjoyment in it, but also when it's going down, it takes a toll, and then you just, why bother? Okay, I'll focus on streaming. I'll focus on marketplace. I'll focus on the podcast, and then you spread yourself really thin on all of these things, and that gets even less attention, which means it goes down even more.
Yep. And you start to suffer as a content creator as a whole because you're not happy with anything you're doing. You're going live just because you got to. You're making the video just because you got to. And it's just...
Exactly. If all of us TB members just decided, okay, we're finishing this season, we're going to start season 6 next season, all of us are signing a death sentence on our channel because it's not performing. It's the wrong time to do it. And it's not just Truly Bedrock. You look at all of the popular SMPs out there. If you look at the history of the views that those creators get, some are exceptions, like Grian still gets millions of views per video. Yeah. But the majority of those content creators' views over the last couple of years have been going down and down and down and down. And a lot of them are doing different projects, taking side things on, starting new things and starting things that are interesting and different. So now is not the right time at all to be jumping back into a new season, because you're just signing a death sentence on that season and your channel.
Yeah. And then additionally, on top of that, we're talking about all these other SMPs out there. A lot of them there's still a lot of popular ones. Most of them are modded. And let's take Hermitcraft even this season. A lot of modded feel to it with different weapons and stuff like that, like Exuma with the bone meal. I haven't watched it all, but we're still a pretty vanilla SMP. We have mob heads, we have mini blocks,
we don't have anything, and we have the dolphin thing.
Yeah, exactly. So these last couple updates have brought nothing for us.
Well, even those mob heads and those mini blocks, and they're stale. Yeah. They've been around for years. They're not interesting. They're not new.
No.
And if Hermitcraft hadn't have had Decked Out, that's brought a lot of hype back to Hermitcraft. But if it hadn't had that, they'd be in the same boat, thinking, "No, geez."
Well, I mean, they literally just started a new series.
Yeah,
didn't they?
Is it a Secret Life? Is it called
Secret Life? I don't know. New Life, 30 Life, Next Life. I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah. They're playing Minecraft with different twists.
Yeah,
with different rules. It's an objective based thing and stuff like that. And just
because they'll be in exactly the same boat we are. So we're not this isn't the end of Truly Bedrock. We're not walking away from Truly Bedrock and going, right, I've had enough. This is dying, so I'm off doing something else. This is
Yeah.
This is actually the actions that we're taking here are first and foremost, how do we repair the damage to our channels and get them back on track? And second of all, how can we take this time to make sure when we get back into Truly Bedrock, it goes up instead of down? So this is to keep Truly Bedrock alive, not to kill it.
Yeah, because there's going to be the diehard fans out there. There's going to be.
Exactly.
They're going to be upset. But if we started a new season at this time of the year right now, it would be season suicide.
Yeah, it absolutely would.
It would. You got the holidays all coming up. You got the year coming up. So let's say we started the season, then we're in the season 3 or 4 months, and then the update drops. Well, then the question is, should we reset? Well, no, we've already got an established world. Oh, but they added these new biomes and they did this. No, it's too much.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, though.
Go on.
I won't lie. When we made this decision as a group, I was torn over this for a while. I was. Me and you've had talks.
We have. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I didn't agree with, well, me and you, your opinions differed slightly, didn't they?
Yeah, we differed slightly. But I'll tell you what, since I finally got it in my head that this is what I want to do and this is what I want to do to help my channel, I felt so much better. That pressure of not recording the Let's Plays right now, only focusing on what my YouTube channel wants.
For me, it's just
going live.
It's a massive relief for Truly Bedrock. Believe it or not, there's so much stress that goes behind that. And I'm not talking about being an admin and having to update the server or anything like that. It's just, for me, Truly Bedrock's less about making videos as it is the group of content creators behind it. It's more of a, we know them all, we get on with them all, we chat about stuff. I don't want that to go away. And whilst at the moment, I don't necessarily feel I need to make videos with all those people, they're an important part of my life now. And because me and Slack, we were two of the founding members of Truly Bedrock, I feel a pressure to make sure they've got what they need out of this series. And when I see things struggling for everybody on that series, I feel a lot of stress thinking, how can I change it? And believe me, Slack will agree, I have spent 3 years pushing new ideas, pushing boundaries, trying to get people to change and do things differently. And not everybody wants to. And when you've got a democracy that is fair, everybody gets a vote, not everybody wants to make radical changes. And I'm talking radical changes because I see, when I see a problem, I think we need to do something fresh. We need to do something new. We need to grab people's attention. We need to shake it up a bit. But a lot of the people that come to Truly Bedrock I've come to join a vanilla SMP because I've seen vanilla SMPs. That's what I want to be a part of. That's the content I want to make. No, I'm not comfortable with doing something that's not a vanilla SMP. I'm not comfortable with something modded. It was really, really hard for me to actually push the idea of Truly Bedrock Season 3 over to them. And it took me a long time to do that. A lot of work went in the background of creating this crazy world, adding all these things in, and I did all that, knowing full well most of the people in the members would say, no, we're not doing it. But when I showed it all and I demonstrated it and I gave them my spiel, eventually I got enough of the members to turn around and go, yeah, okay, let's do that as a short season and see how it goes.
I think that only passed by like 1 vote, to be fair. I guess I probably shouldn't say that.
No,
but
that's fine.
Like, we were split on that. And Season 3 was probably my favorite world yet.
Yeah,
but it was Foxy had to fight tooth and nail for that one.
And it's those sorts of changes for me, I feel are necessary to make. Like, the thing is, a Minecraft update's going to give you so much push, so much more content, but it's not the lifeline that's going to keep something going on forever. So, totally honest with everybody right now, there are absolutely no plans currently of how the next season of Truly Bedrock will be. But for me personally, and I've just explained to you how I don't normally get my way with these changes, if it was up to me, Truly Bedrock was all up to me, I was the one in charge and everyone just had to do as I was told, it would be totally, totally different. It would be massively different. There'd be a lot of structure involved. There'd be a lot of organized quests and activities. There'd be more things that you've just not seen in Minecraft before. There'd be more there would be changes to the game. The vanilla gameplay would change significantly, maybe with shopping systems and land claim things and PvP stuff, and just things to change things up. That's how I would do it.
Yep.
I would go, I'm not making a small change and see if that works. I'm making a big change, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But no, that's not going to happen because no one's going to agree with me. So I think realistically, what me and Slack at least can hope to get out of this is that we build our channels, we've grown our audience, we've got confident with Minecraft again, we're enjoying playing Minecraft again, and when we step back in, we can bring that excitement and that enjoyment to Truly Bedrock again, and that will help. So
yeah, because we lost it in our videos. Even the last few videos that we did that we recorded on TB together. Sure, we had our chemistry that we have, but the episodes themselves were just they just didn't have it. They didn't have it no more.
Nope.
And then we did the little bit of the myth busting, and it was cool for a few episodes, but then it lost all interest. Then we thought about the challenge series, but it never did nothing from the beginning. I know there were several people, oh, I loved it, but the rest of YouTube didn't.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah, so
interesting.
Anyway, that's Truly Bedrock. In terms of our actual week in Minecraft, Slack, how's your week in Minecraft been?
Absolutely fun. I've been playing on now since I've stopped doing the Let's Play content, in a sense. I've stopped playing on any world that I was recording on for right now, because if I log on to any world that I had recorded on, I'm going to feel that obligation, and I just don't want it.
Yeah.
So I've been playing on my Forever Slackville world, the one that's been up for like 3 years now. And it's been great. I've been having fun. Just doing random things, building trees, terraforming, working on the item categorizer, just playing around with just different things, hanging out, chatting. And whether it be the fact that I'm trying to be consistent again with my time schedule, I'm trying to get back on my afternoon streams, or whether it be just the streams themselves, because I don't have that pressure of recording. I feel like I'm more engaging, I'm chatty, and I've watched, because my numbers got bad there on stream for a while. Sure, I was still making money and everything like that, but my numbers got bad. That messes with you too.
Yeah.
But my numbers have started pulling back up already.
Good.
I mean, you can literally look at the analytics from just like my last 6 streams, and I can be like, this is the one where I said I'm done recording. And every one since then has just gotten better. So I'm enjoying it again.
Good.
And I don't want that to stop.
Good. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm having a crazily good time. I'm having such a good time. I mentioned in the last podcast that I was going to be building a hot springs lava farm. This week I built that, and I was really happy with how it went. So basically, there was an area of a mountain that I sort of flattened out. I basically made a platform on that, and then around the outside of that, I created like these little pockets of water with steam and smoke coming up from those. I filled them with blue ice, even though hot springs wouldn't have ice in, but to try and make the water look a little bit more blue, more light blue at least. And
good.
I blended that in with the mountain, put a little cabin on top, and had a great time in the nether. Had a bit of an adventure in the nether. So I needed to build an area in the nether where a little train could go in and pick up lava and bring it back to the overworld. And I made a montage out of it in that video, which was a couple of minutes long. I actually reduced the length of that montage 3 times. That length of that montage of just me fighting mobs and getting annoyed with mobs while I was trying to build was 5 minutes long at first, and it was too long. It was funny, but it was way too long. So I reduced it by half, and it was still way too long. So I reduced it again. But man, that was hard work. So obviously, I love it. I'm not complaining. No, there's too many mobs. They're not hard. I wasn't in like risk of dying, but they were just constant. And there's so many different mobs and so many more interesting ones. It was just this constant sort of. And it's one of those situations. I'm not playing vanilla Minecraft. I shouldn't approach this like I would do in vanilla, which I did. So it was a big learning experience. The next time I do something in the nether, I won't then build a big platform that things can spawn on. I will do things differently. And there's so many ways you can do things differently. You can make automatic machines that will like lay things for you or lay track for you. There was loads of different ways I could have approached that, and I just didn't. I was very much, oh yes, this is how you do things in Minecraft. And I was wrong. But I think it turned out quite entertaining. Then in the last few days, I spent building a power station in a big lake, and I wanted to go off to a mangrove swamp and get some mud. And I didn't expect to find half the things that I found. Still, I mean, I'm over a month in on this world, and I'm still going on adventures and just being totally wowed constantly by the things I'm coming across. Oh my, there's one of these. There's one of what's that? How is this? I've just found this little Mayan temple in the middle of nowhere. I found there's a firefly, there's a dragonfly, there's this, and it just constant. And again, I had to, so I made a montage of this adventure I went on, and it was like 15 minutes long. I'm like, I can't have 15 minutes of me being on an adventure, and I reduced it and reduced it and reduced it and reduced it. So, there was good material there, but I had to cut so much of the stuff that was really good fun out to try and squeeze it down. And I think I kept the best bits and kept it sort of short and snappy, but oh man, it's just so much fun. I'm having such a good time. And
that's good.
As I mentioned in the bonus show, I'm having so many ideas of things I want to do, and I can't wait to do them. I can't wait.
It's nice to get that energy back again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got a lot of energy for it right now. One of the interesting things, though, you mentioned streaming. Obviously, I haven't streamed for a long time, and I'm doing a lot of off-camera stuff. So there's plenty of opportunity for me to stream doing that. But what I'm finding really interesting, and it's how I like to do experiments with things. My little personal experiment at the moment is just I wake up in the morning, I do the things I need to do around the house, I sit down, I play Minecraft, I record Minecraft, I edit some stuff. The next morning, whatever I've recorded, I'll do the same thing. I'll edit it, I'll play, and I've got this really nice structure going on without anything else. In fact, that last week, I was really struggling to squeeze editing the podcasting. I was like, this is so irritating. This isn't part of my plan. I could live stream. I could live stream in those moments where I'm sat there just listening to a podcast, mining or landscaping, or just doing some off-camera stuff, or doing some stuff for a montage. I'm like marketplace stuff I'm way behind with, because I just haven't put any time into that. But it's actually really nice focusing on one thing and just getting that done and putting all your attention into it. And it's such a big difference because I've always been I've talked about it before in the past. I do so many things. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. And I've always been afraid of doing the same thing over and over again because I know I get bored. So I've always split my time between loads of different projects. So I'll be making marketplace content. I'll be streaming. I'll be making videos. I'll be doing a podcast. I'll be making someone a website. I'll be going off to the dog lady and doing some videos for her. And I'll be doing this and I'll be doing that. I've always got loads of stuff going on. But right now, for this last month, I've just completely honed in onto one thing, and I'm not bored. In fact, I'm less bored now than I have been in a long time and I feel at home finally. I feel that one of the issues I've had for so many years is just feeling like I've never settled. I've never sat down. I don't know what I'm doing because everything's so hectic that I never feel like I'm grounded. And I finally feel grounded. And I know it's only been a month, and I'm sure in a few months' time I'll be bored to the back teeth doing what I'm doing and need to change it up a bit. But right now I feel so normal.
It feels right.
It does. It feels totally right. And I love it. And it's working out. If I was doing all this and it wasn't working and the things weren't improving, I'd probably be thinking, maybe I should change things up a bit. But while things are going like this, I just want to keep it as it is. And I'm really enjoying it. So there we go.
Yep. My energy for recording has been going into nothing but tutorials. I've been spending more time on them, even if it's just trivial things, but it feels much more rewarding. So when I do sit down to go live, which has nothing to do with anything else, it's just, I get it. I do.
Yeah. Well, going back to that. Yeah. One of the reasons that I'm not live streaming the off-camera stuff is because I'm recording it. And Java Edition is much more intensive than Bedrock Edition. In order to record it, I can record it at the same time as I'm streaming it. But if I do that, then I've got all of the stream stuff going on the recording. Unless you use something in OBS called Source Record, which I've had loads of problems with in the past. I've missed audio from it. I've missed video from it. So the live stream I did on Create, I actually had to have two lots of OBS running at the same time. plus all my live streaming stuff. My screens were full. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't concentrate. And
then you can't really enjoy it.
And my PC was screaming. And as a result of that, a lot of the frame rate was stuttering in the video. The quality dropped in places. The audio was dropping in places. And the only way I would be able to stream it would be to send all of the footage through to a different PC, really, and send the stream through that, or send the footage through like a capture card into a laptop or something and record it on that rather than directly. But then I've got problems with microphones. Then how do I send my microphone into that? It's just a big mess. So I'd like to stream those bits, but I think like what I've just said about focusing on everything and those issues as well, I think I'm just going to stick to things how they are for now. Right. Anyway. Sorry, Slack. I think I cut you off then.
No. I was agreeing with you. Okay. If it's working for you, don't change it. Because like what I'm doing for right now for me is working, and I'm not going to change it.
Good.
Will I be that way in 6 weeks? Will I be that way in 6 months? I don't know. But I can tell you this: my mental health has already improved a lot just over the last week.
Good.
So,
right, Slack. Questions. Start us off, buddy.
Questions. Well, the first one I see over there, somebody asked in the Discord if I was still off the sodas. Yep, 3 weeks now, no sodas.
Nice.
Oh. Okay, and oh god, really? It starts with Jade on questions. I'm done. Right. Maribel Jade, you asked where my questions were, so here is one. Do you prefer bacon, bent, or to snap?
So
just bacon.
Soft bacon or snappy bacon?
Just bacon.
So in the UK, all of our bacon is bendy bacon. It's very difficult to crisp it up enough to actually make it crunchy. I do like a nice crispy bit of bacon. And when I've been into the States before and you get that like rock hard, streaky bacon that snaps, I love it. I really like it, especially with, is it maple syrup you have on it? And like that?
Some people do. Like I picked up some bacon today. I picked up applewood bacon and hickory bacon today.
Yeah, I really like that. But I don't know if I had to pick one over the other. I don't know. I like both. I don't think I could choose.
I like both. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to eat bacon either which way.
Yeah.
I tell you right.
I wouldn't want
now,
a bacon sandwich with crispy, snappy stuff. I think that would be too much.
It's actually not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not too bad. I tell you right now, though, I'd hurt somebody for some British bacon right now. and some breakfast sausages and some beans and mushrooms.
Moving on, Slack. Moving on. No, stop. I've not eaten my tea tonight. Yes, I'm starving. Get away from food. Whitebush says, Foxy and Slack, sorry this is long, but necessary to back up my point and be clear. With all your openness about channels struggling with vanilla content, the obvious success of Foxy's modded videos and popularity of modded on YouTube, your discussion of the Minecraft after 15 years trying to feel more like modern games, Mojang's ability and practice of putting features behind toggles and community's familiarity with doing that, and the introduction of the crafter, which in my opinion shows Mojang as being willing to finally loosen the long-held beliefs on how they want the game to be played. If I were part of the decision makers in Mojang, I would, from this point forward, split the game into 2 different modes. Everything that could currently exist would be considered Minecraft core, but for devices that meet a set of minimum requirements as an advanced mode would become available that's clearly indicated at launch screen. All blocks, mobs, biomes, etc. moving forward would be included in Minecraft core, but this toggle would unlock a lot of restrictions and more intensive features moving forward that would allow for more modded features to be added to the game by Mojang themselves. Realms could also allow a higher tier of play for running advanced world, or just allow more players if you run a core world. I believe this would allow them to stay available on devices from 1922 Slack and still yet not hold back developers the development for strong devices. What do you think? You're splitting a split game into 2 more. You're just making you're not going to get more content there, you're going to get less. You can't.
Yep, you're going to get less.
Let's assume for a second that Bedrock Edition didn't exist and Java Edition was just or let's assume Java Edition doesn't exist and Bedrock Edition's the only version. Doesn't matter. You split that game in 2, you're not going to get twice as much development. You're going to get even less because they're focusing on 2 games again. You're basically,
and then you're talking about. But go ahead.
No, yeah, carry on.
You're talking about that it will unlock advanced features and stuff that can be turned on. Well, they have to create the features.
Yeah.
So now you're wanting them to create more work. So you're going to slow down development even more. You're either going to slow it down or they're going to rush it out, and it's going to be half-assed. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No, I don't agree with that.
And considering we do have two versions, then all of a sudden, I mean, we've already got what you're saying there. We do have the Minecraft Core, which I guess is Bedrock Edition, and we have the Advanced mode, which is Java Edition, that only works on faster devices. Sure, it doesn't work on consoles. Sure, it doesn't work on mobiles and tablets and things like that. But that's what we've got. Do you see Java Edition having anything more in terms of actual game mechanics? Apart from, obviously, there's parity differences, but they're not adding more to Java than they are Bedrock, even though it's more capable. They're both getting developed at the same time because they don't want disparity. They want parity. What you're suggesting there is them going, well, we're just going to create two versions of the game. One's different from the other. That's just creating disparity. And that's not what they want. And it's not a good thing.
And let's be clear, okay? You're wanting to call Minecraft Core. Well, that's more or less what Minecraft is. This advanced mode that you want, you got it with behavior packs and mods. It exists. Well, there's not no good stuff out there. Well, get to creating it. That's all I can say.
That's it.
You know
we talked last week about having like Mojang officially supporting certain mods and things, which would be great. But they probably don't have time to develop all of those. And like I said, if they were to actually buy out those mod creators and have them in-house, and that's going to enable those to be continued being developed. But then they're going to be held to a much more stricter, stringent set of rules and what can be done, what can't be done. The level of quality that they have to produce to will have to go up, which means those mods are not going to get developed as fast as they were. So whatever you do as part of Mojang and Minecraft, it's going to, if you're trying to add more or split it even more, it's just going to slow it down even more than it is. And that's the problem, which is why I was so strongly suggesting we need to go from two versions of the game to one version of the game so that they can focus on that and actually bring out more updates. Right. Next, Slack.
Code Reindeer is up next and says, theoretically, if you could swap two mobs' behaviors around for a series, which two would you pick? Creeper and a polar bear.
I don't know. That's such a rant. I don't know. Frogs and villagers.
Creepers wouldn't, imagine a creeper or a polar bear with a creeper's AI.
I got phantoms and villagers. So in order to trade anything, you've got to interact with this flying creature. There you go. They circle around their workstations. Yeah. Okay. Right. Mike says, we spend lots of time talking about how Minecraft needs more, but also how it can't have more due to device limitations and old code. Do you feel a Minecraft 2 would be preferable to continual updates on the current game? It allows Mojang to reset expectations, establish new minimum thresholds, and clean up their coding in a serious way. I think if they did a Minecraft 2, it's not going to be very popular. People play Minecraft. People don't want to buy a new game. They don't want to download a new game. They don't want to move to a new game. They don't want a new game that can't load up their old worlds and their old saves. They don't want to move their realms over, all that sort of stuff. They want Minecraft to just be better, right? Minecraft 2, I mean, you talk about cleaning up the code. I don't think that's... people have got it in their heads. Oh, it's all spaghetti code. It's rubbish. It doesn't work. The game works fine. There's a lot of code. And there's a lot of different things. And when you've got a lot of different developers working on all of these different features, of course, your code's going to get messy. But rewriting the entire game from scratch isn't going to solve that, because you can't do that as one person. You rewrite the entire game from scratch, you're going to still have just as many developers working on it. It's still going to be spaghetti code by the end of it. And then, even if it's better than it was, all of the updates and stuff you're adding from there is just going to spaghettify it again. It's not going to improve it. Minecraft Bedrock Edition was Minecraft 2. That's doing exactly what you said. It was ideally cleaning up the code, making it more optimized, making it more on better devices. And it didn't work. It's still way behind where Minecraft is, because they don't have time to build a new Minecraft on top of doing current Minecraft. I don't think it fixed anything.
No, I think it would be a bad shout. I mean, a game like this, the way that it constantly gets updates and everything like that, trying to come out with a Minecraft 2, the only way it would even potentially even work for even a moment is you'd have to kill all support on the first Minecraft.
Look what
You'd have
happened
to
with
be like, "This is
Overwatch
it."
2.
Yeah. Well, look, let's go Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. They're everybody always, the oldest one's the best one. You know, it's
Yeah, but with Overwatch 2, they did exactly what you just said there. They said when they were doing it, right, when we do Overwatch 2, all of your stuff's going to be backwards compatible. It's all going to work with the old stuff. And then they literally launched Overwatch 2, binned off Overwatch, and it was totally different.
Yep.
No one liked it.
Yep,
They
totally
even
different.
dropped it from esports. It was one of the biggest esports games going. So
yeah, it's not really possible. I mean, that's like kind of comparing like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas to what, Grand Theft Auto 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
They're not the same. It's just Minecraft would not do good with another version.
No, I don't think so. I
mean, literally, they've tried to make spin-off games of this, and every one of them's failed so far.
You can't expect it to. I mean, they've got the best platform to launch it from being Minecraft, and if it actually genuinely was Minecraft, but with an updated user interface, updated quality of life features, but essentially the same game, then they were developing 3 games. Because they're still going to have to keep developing Minecraft. They're still going to have to keep developing Bedrock Edition. And we've got to develop Minecraft too.
Yeah. Well, it's like Ark just dropped a new version. What was it, yesterday or the day before?
Oh, did they?
And it more or less, it's another it's a standalone game separate from the original.
Yeah.
It's just, no. Sorry, Mike. No, I don't think there will be.
No. Next question, Slack.
Guyver's up next and says, have either of you ever had barbecued pulled pork mac and cheese? If not, you should try it. And some fried onions or jalapeno strips on top of it is delicious.
I'm gonna disappoint many people now, Slack.
Okay.
I've got to be honest with you. I don't like barbecue. I don't like barbecue. I like barbecued food. I don't like barbecue sauce.
Okay.
And
can I be honest with you?
I really don't like mac and cheese. I hate it.
Okay. Can I be honest with you? You all do not have one good barbecue sauce in that whole country.
Probably. I have had barbecue pulled pork, and I've had that at a very nice restaurant, and it was very nice, but it didn't taste like the naff barbecue sauce that you get on everything else. Domino's pizzas do barbecue sauce bases, and it's awful. It's like drinking some weird spicy treacle.
No.
I've got the thumbnail for today's podcast.
Go on a pizza. No. Oh.
I know, Nelly. I know. You're right, bud.
No.
That was so funny.
No.
Oh, today's thumbnail is going to be brilliant. Slack in the background. Oh,
no.
Oh, dear.
No. And I've been to your country.
I've
tasted several of your barbecues. They're nasty.
It's like when they put that fake smoke taste into everything, and it's awful. It just tastes like chemicals. Why? Stop having smoked food. It doesn't taste nice even when it's done properly. Stop it.
Excuse me, smoked food? I have a barbecue smoker out here, and I will cook you some smoked ribs that will have you drooling.
Maybe
you will eat them, and yes.
Right.
I'll smoke you a pork butt out there, and you will just be like,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. Rotates Dollface says, I think the redesign of the model texture animation of the bat is in the most recent snapshot is really good sign that Mojang intends to update the legacy mobs to match the more detailed appearance and animations of newer editions. Your thoughts? We went over this in the news, Rotated Dollface. Yeah. If you would like to hear our thoughts, then rewind a little bit, and I'm sure you'll find your answer.
I'm literally terrified to read any kind of questions now because I'm afraid they're going to be food related. Ecifer is up next and says, just curious, if Mojang came out and said, we're removing the Trident killers from Bedrock and we're bringing over X from Java, is there any other method you would think would be worth it?
Java doesn't really have any better methods than Bedrock, really, other than it's just better more mobs, more spawning and more despawning. Entity cramming is useful, but
yeah, there you go.
But it's
yeah.
It's not like, I mean, Trident killers are better because you get looting from it. You actually get the player kill, so you get all the good drops. Whereas entity cramming, you don't get that.
I need hugs.
So
I need hugs. They're talking about bad food. I need hugs.
He's talking to his dog, not to me, by the way, people that can't see the podcast.
Fine, just leave. Fine. Fine. He don't want to give me hugs.
So, no, I don't think I want any method coming over from Java Edition. I'm quite happy with Trident killers, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mike says, Slack, you've talked about how you've grown bored doing the same farms over and over again, and I don't blame you. Aside from going modded, have you considered challenging your redstone gills? Your redstone gills, Slack. Your underwater redstone gills. Your redstone skills in vanilla. The community would use could use more pioneers. Oh, geez, I'm butchering this. Let me start that line again, Slack. The community could use more pioneers of Skulk Redstone. They've worked so hard to make this calibration stuff. Perhaps you can find ways of making it useful. Can I? Well, you answer, Slack, and then I'll answer for you.
No, go ahead. You answer. I'm curious how you're going to answer.
Well, I was just going to say that the reason there are so many big redstone channels out there, and no one's going to come up with anything particularly interesting to do with them, doesn't necessarily mean no one's found a good use for them, but it probably means no one cares, no one's interested. And if the content creators aren't interested, chances are most of the people watching are not very interested either. I don't know. I think the whole Skulk Redstone thing, I'm sure someone will come up with something interesting at some point, but I think so many people are wanting something out of it that just doesn't exist. So
yesterday's video that we put out was a Trident killer that uses calibrated skulk sensors that is reload proof, and you can set it up. And its benefit would be, let's go back to my season 4 base on Truly Bedrock. Multiple drown farms on the edge of borders, multiple farms over here that use Trident killers. Let's say another base, let's say the Fortress Farm. Fortress Farm is a prime example. If you're wanting to maximize and use the most number of spawn spots, well, you have to run all that redstone back to a central room.
Yep.
Right? You always got to turn it on and off. You got to make sure that it's running and everything else.
And it's laggy.
And then, of course, yep, and you got 30 Trident killers running all the time. Well, this new Trident killer that uses the calibrated skulk sensors only turns on when a mob falls into the Trident killer and shuts off. You never have to go flipping on or off. But the thing with this, Mike, is they're niche farms.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the allay. Sure, I put out a wool farm tutorial the other day that uses allays. It's a niche farm. And not a lot of people have went into these niche farms, so there's less of an audience for it.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, like, I don't know what people are expecting. I think when people think of Skulk Redstone, they're thinking of this incredible new farm that does all of these new things that were not seen before. That's not what it is. It's for, like Slack's done, integrating into other things to just make them slightly better. But you can't really just sit there and innovate that or pioneer it. You just go, oh, that'd be useful to put one of them in there. But anyone could do that. You couldn't have a video going, wow, look at this amazing, how we can make, Skulk make all of our, well, I suppose you could. How can you use Skulk Redstone to make all of your contraptions better than to just have a whole bunch of farms that have got a little bit of Skulk added in there? But it kind of feels like that's not really what you're looking for. So
you just gave me a video audio. Hold on. I need
I
need pen.
All of my farms better with Skulk Redstone.
Well, 5 tips and tricks for using calibrated skulk sensors in your farms.
Yeah. Or top 10 Skulk farms.
No.
That makes it sound like you're farming Skulk, but you know what I mean.
No.
A bit like Mumbo's 100 doors, right? But 10 farms that have been improved with Skulk. 10
fun ways to use calibrated skulk sensors.
Yeah.
There you go.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Next question. Where are we at? Is it me or you? Okay. I can't even think where we're at.
I don't know.
It is you.
I'm writing it down. No. All right. Alternate says, With the idea of 1.21 being a combat and tinkering update, and they haven't specifically said that, do you think Mojang will adopt a simplified version of the Tinker's Construct mod into vanilla, or do you think that they have their own route planned for 1.21?
There's no way they would just go, hey, let's steal this mod, simplify it, and put it in vanilla. The crafter is so different from any of the modded crafters that have existed forever, right? They've been around forever, but they've done it in a completely unique and different way because they can't just go, oh, that's a good mod, we'll steal that. They can't do it.
Hey, wait.
And that must be one of the reasons they find it so difficult to innovate with the development process and come up with new ideas, because they've already all been done by all the modders. So they got to look at something that people like and go, how can we change that enough that it's unique and different and Minecrafty? So they did say that they're focusing on combat and tinkering, and I'm hoping that they're going to do, like, you can add things to weapons or make more weapons and things like that. But I don't think they're going to be making a Tinker's Construct mod.
You know, I was just thinking back to the Rascal and a friend of mine, you know, making a mod that had a little guy doing something like that too. Anyways.
Lorenzo says, what's your favorite biome to build in, Slack?
Mushroom biome.
It depends on the area. I always used to pick plains because they're nice and flat. It is nice and easy having a flat biome in order to, like, get your build set out without having to do too much terraforming. But I've been really enjoying working on these mountainsides and just going, I can have one up there and one down there. It never occurred to me before to just like, well, you can just make a foundation for your building and that's flat then. I was like, no, I need the whole area flat.
Let's say the person that's using a jetpack to get around, which looks mighty nice, versus that Elytra. I'm just putting that out there.
I've got no need to get to the end at all, Slack. That jetpack's wonderful.
I know, and you can fly, you can go where you want. You don't have crazy propulsion.
You don't go very fast, and it only hovers a certain number of blocks above the ground. So if you go down like when I was building my bridge, it was a nightmare because that was in a ravine, and I needed to get up to do the arch. But the arch was too high from the bottom of the ravine. And when I started at the side of the ravine, I was up nice and high. But as I got over the ravine, I was dropping lower and lower down and then going back up again. So I actually had to build so many dirt scaffoldings that you didn't see in the time lapse of that bridge build, just to reach up those things. So the jetpack's great, but it's not. I mean, it's way better than Elytra for building with because you can't build with Elytra. But it's not. You know, it's not too modded, I guess. It's balanced.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think when I planned out a lot with this Create world. I've also I looked at the map quite a lot in Creative, and I've planned out areas where I think the next sort of phases will be and where I'd like to go. And rather than a specific biome, what I'm looking for is really more of like an area that's got a surrounding to it. So that might be like a nice area with a hill in the background with some woods around it, but something's got a natural like place and you can fill that in rather than it just being big open wide. Because you could have a really big open wide area and you could build as much as you wanted to in there, but it's still going to look lost in the surroundings. But if you've got a nice little area you can focus in on and then build into that, all of a sudden you've filled that area and it looks nice because it's got natural surroundings. So that's what I'm looking for. It's like these little pockets of land. Maybe it's got a nice cliff face. Maybe it's got a nice lake in it. Maybe it's got a nice woods around it. But as you know, just little pockets, bigger pockets for bigger builds. Yeah, that's what. It doesn't matter what the biome is, as long as it's not got horrible coloured grass or mycelium. Right. Next question, Slack.
Lothus is up next and says, Foxy, can you make a version switcher for Bedrock that will switch to Java so that I can play Create mod?
No, not possible.
No.
I did. It wasn't the... I don't think mods would be compatible. What was that thing that used to be at a bridge between Bedrock and Java and people used to go on?
I can't remember.
You should use this now. Yeah. We've got a server running. No, it didn't work.
No. It doesn't work very well. No. Geyser. Yeah. No.
Yeah. The Mike says, why does Discord live stream of the recording of the podcast have 25 viewer limit? Sorry, I'm late. I don't know. It's supposed to have 99. I can only assume because me and Slack are both running our cameras, it reduces the amount of bandwidth that you're allowed to use in that chat channel. It would be lovely if it went up to 99. It'd be lovely if it went to more than that. It's set to 99, but it will only do 25. Sorry, nothing I can do about it.
Can't help you there. Yeah. Firelight 360 is up next and says, hey, Foxy and Slack, how are you? I was wondering what your thoughts were on Minecraft Legacy Edition, Xbox 360 Edition. Anyways, keep up the good work with all you're doing.
I think it was better than Bedrock, although I really struggled with the controls. But the mini games on that were amazing. Like the whole interface was brilliant. The option systems was better. The UI was better. The way you
the mechanics were Java based.
They were to an extent. They had a lot of disparity with that as well. It had a lot of unique features in that that Java didn't have, and vice versa. But I still think today it was better. It's more closely in line parity wise than Bedrock is, and it was it was fluid. It was better. It hardly ever crashed. It ran really well. It didn't have very big render distance on the Xbox 360, but
you could exit without saving.
Yep. Yeah. And the worlds were very small. I mean, the limited world size was ridiculous. But it was a good game. It was a good game. Yeah, how big was it? Like 16 chunks from one side to the other, or something crazy like that? I can't remember. It was really small.
I think it got up to in the 360 edition. I think it got up to like a region file.
Yeah. So what's that? That's 32 by 32, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah. It wasn't.
It's still not very big. Yeah, no. You were lucky if you had all of the biomes.
Yeah, really lucky. Yeah,
but they had flat nether in there as well. The flat nether was amazing. You did a flat world, you got flat nether.
Yeah.
Jeez. Right. Next question is Stitch Fix saying, will you be going back to the SMP after your Create World series ends? Do you see yourself going back to single player Bedrock World? What do you think the future holds for the series on your channel? Do you know what? That's a really good question, Stitch Fix. This all depends on how long this little trend of Create lasts for, really, and how long I can keep making videos on it. So I've got a plan. I know where and when that plan sort of tails off because I've kind of run out of Create things to do. But I'm gonna my other part of that plan is to add in. There's so many add-ons for Create, and there's some in the works as well. Is to add more of those in each sort of phase, so that I got more stuff to play with. So for this to last as long as possible while that trend is running. So if that trend collapses, or I lose interest, or things are not working as well on the channel, or I'm finding it hard to keep up with it, then I may well go back to doing something else. But I think at this point, I'm more likely to go to a single player world and invite certain patrons to that world than I would be to go back to the SMP at this moment in time with how things stand on the SMP front, as we discussed earlier. One thing I've considered doing, and this is, I don't want to seem like a dictator, but I'm running my Create World on a server now, and I would love to invite certain people I know from the community to come and play. But what I really don't want, I don't want people building big farms and making it really laggy, because modded is laggy anyway. We've all been there. You've had like 3 or 4 people on, and all of a sudden after a week, the whole thing lags out. I don't want people making loads of big farms, but I'd love to be able to like say, right, that's your area over there. You can take whatever resources that I'm gathering from my farms, but I don't want you building any farms, but I want you to build this thing in this theme, in this like age over there, so that, and then we can connect our trains up together, and you know, we've got this nice little town that you've set up over there that looks like this. And we can go, okay, you're going to go into the desert. I want a Wild West theme going over there. And just to bring, so even though the world, I keep saying it's like the world is alive, I would love actually player generated towns cropping up around, not too close, but within train distance in different biomes, looking in different ways. I thought that would be really cool. But I also feel like it'd be very difficult to say to people, yes, you can join this world, but yeah, I don't want you mining. Or no, I don't want you stealing all my resources, like the world resources. Because when I go on adventures, I don't want to find everything's gone. I don't want you making a mess of the landscape. I don't want you building laggy farms. You're literally, you can build stuff and do a little bit of mining. I don't think people would be too interested. Do you?
Nah, it'd be a hard one.
So
be an interesting one.
Yeah. So we'll see. I might float that idea at some point, but I'm so scared of this world just lagging out as it is already with just me on it. So I built that power station in the first little area, and my frames when I was running shaders dropped from 60 to 15 frames per second. I've just built that another power station in this new area, and there's nothing going on. There's no laggy things. There's no conveyor belts or anything like that. But my frames again on my shaders just dropped from 60 to 20. I'm like, if I've got a bunch of other people on here, and this is running on a service, it's not even using my PC for processing now. I got a bunch of other people on there doing stuff. Is it going to affect my ability to make the videos and make them the way I want to? So, and it'd be very difficult to go, hey, you particular guys, do you want to come and play? And then turn around in a few weeks and go, this isn't working. It's ruining everything. Clear off.
Yeah, leave. Yeah.
So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make it difficult.
Yeah. Right. Next question is from Lucy saying, how do you find a nether fortress in a new world on Bedrock? You go looking.
Yep.
About as simple as that, really.
Yeah, not much else to tell you on that aside from unless you have a creative copy and you go in there and / locate fortress. Yep. Can't really help you. Yeah.
Okay, next.
Pitch Fix is up next and says, if you started streaming off-camera work, wouldn't that put the stress back onto it where you won't enjoy it again?
If you start streaming off-camera work, wouldn't this... Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the point I was trying to make earlier. It was very stressful getting everything set up in order to try and record and stream at the same time. So, yeah.
No.
Last question is from Not So Blue Sheep. Oh, hang on a minute. No, we've got two from Not So Blue Sheep. Okay, so not last question. Second to last question. How many patrons do you have before Foxy comes to the US for American food? It costs a lot of money to go to the US. So
yeah, that's a lot.
I've been to the US a bunch of times before. So I've already had lots of American food, but thank you.
And the last one from Not So Blue Sheep says, how do you decide where to shutter a long-term world?
When to shut down your long-term world? When you're finished, when you've had enough, when you don't want to play anymore, when something else comes along, when you get bored.
No.
You don't have to finish everything. You don't have to finish every build. When you get to that point when you're thinking, start another one. It's not going anywhere. It's fine.
Yep. You decide. Yep.
Yeah. And that's it. That's the end of the questions. If you would like to ask us a question, then you can do by filling in a feedback form on our website, which is theblockupdate.com, or joining our Discord. The links for both of those things are in the description below. As a polite reminder, although we've talked about it a whole bunch this podcast anyway, if you are enjoying the show, then you can help support us by going to patreon.com / the block update and pledging at any level. This week, I'm going to be working very hard to try and make more create videos. What are you going to be doing, Slack?
Trying to keep up my daily streams in the rough time frame of 3 to 5-ish, somewhere in there. And videos will be coming out when they're ready. That's just the best I can say.
Good. All that's left to say is the same thing I say at the end of every podcast, which is I have no idea what I say at the end of every podcast. I've just had a total meltdown there. I normally think of exactly what I'm going to say while you're telling me what you're going to be doing this week, and I couldn't think of anything this time, Slack.
Well, I thought you were going to talk about if you wanted to see all the greatest Skulk farms out there and niche builds to head over to my channel and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
That's it. Subscribe to Slack or else. Yep. And Patron and me.
Yeah, and don't be putting barbecue sauce on pizza.
Yeah.
No.
Old mac and cheese. Right. That's it, peeps. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.